A horrifying scene suddenly unfolded before the boy's eyes. The nearby scarecrow seemed to move. Thinking it was just his imagination, he stepped closer in confusion, only to discover that the scarecrow's feet had transformed into terrifying claws. Just as the boy stood frozen in shock, the claws twitched again. Terrified, he spun around and bolted. But in the next moment, the scarecrow morphed into a monstrous creature, leapt into the air, and dove straight toward him from above. The boy screamed for help while running as fast as he could, but the monster caught up and tackled him to the ground in the middle of the cornfield. Hearing his younger brother's shrieks, the older brother immediately stood up from under the car hood, and their father rushed out of the house with a hunting rifle in hand. Spotting movement in the distant cornfield, the two instantly realized the boy was in danger. But by the time they charged into the field, the creature had already flown off with the boy in its grasp. It moved with terrifying speed, darting through the stalks of corn. The father and son couldn't keep up at all. They heard the boy's heart-wrenching cries fading into the distance, but they were powerless to stop it, left only to watch in anguish as the winged monster disappeared into the sky with their loved one. What the hell was that thing? The father muttered, his face pale with fear and dread. Back home, he was consumed with anxiety, unable to eat or sleep. Though he knew his youngest son was likely beyond saving, he refused to sit idly by. That creature had to pay for what it did. Wasting no time, the father and son sprang into action. Using everything they could find in their workshop, they worked tirelessly to modify a car into a giant crossbow launcher and crafted several enormous arrows to go with it. Once everything was ready, filled with fury and determination, they set off in the makeshift weaponized vehicle, hunting for the monster. Late that night, they finally found a clue. A car had crashed into a tree by the roadside, but this was no ordinary accident. The roof had been violently torn open by some immense force, and the driver was missing. It was unmistakably the creature's handiwork. As the father cautiously approached the wreck, his eldest son suddenly heard a panicked voice over the walkie-talkie. Someone was calling for help. Judging by the fear in their tone, they were in serious trouble. The distress call came from a group of students trapped inside a school bus.